Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Christian Music Bros podcast, or again, the Christian Music Bro podcast, because Brandon's not here. Brandon, I know you're working, but come on, I need you back, man. But it's okay. Well, once again, I'm Brendan, and thank you for tuning in. Today, I'm with, I told you I'm going to butcher your name wrong. I completely just forgot it. The way it's spelled is
I
unique,
know.
and I'm going to butcher this. Elenee.
Hey, good job. That's perfect.
I'm sorry. We just discussed this beforehand. I was like, I'm going to butcher this no matter what,
You should
but.
add like a round of applause there. Like,
I don't
yeah,
have like one of those buttons from like iCarly, if you know what iCarly is. Like
yeah,
they have
of course I know what
buttons. Yeah,
iCarly
that's
is.
like the button
Oh, that's
that's like
amazing.
the different sound effects.
Yeah,
but,
you need
but
that.
yeah, that's exactly what I need. But I'm with Elenee Young, so I'm gonna let Elenee kind of introduce herself now.
Hey, what's up, people? So my name is Elenee, as our friend here, Brennan, got it right. So impressed. I am a Canadian singer-songwriter, artist, producer, all the things, and just living my best life. Also a restaurateur and mom, wife, all the good things, dog mom.
Most
Yeah,
important.
and most importantly, yeah. But yeah, overall, just like doing my thing in the music scene up here and doing what I can to spread like a positive and uplifting message in my music while sort of meeting people where they are and talking about like the real deal stuff, which I'm not afraid to talk about. So, music is a really great way for me to get that out there for sure.
Awesome. Thank you for joining me today. And like I said, Brad says thank you for joining us today, and he's sorry he can't be here today.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Let's just start. When I said basic, this is a kind of a broad question, but a lot of people like this question. And it's, can you tell us a little bit about your music background, like how you got started and everything?
Yeah, so I started music. Well, I was like born and raised in like an entrepreneurial home, but also musical home. My mom like she just loves music. It doesn't matter like if it's like good or I don't know. She'll listen to anything. I grew up listening to like predominantly 70s and 80s music. It's just like in my DNA. But then on my dad's side, I actually grew up in like they lived with us for most of my childhood. My grandparents, they like we're in a band. So my grandma played the accordion and sang, and then my grandpa played the guitar and yodeled. And so like I've just always been around music in some capacity, whether it was like live performance or just listening to music all the time. I sometimes like wonder if like all of that made me the way that I am because like today, as I say here, I don't listen to music very much because it's like very overstimulating. Like I'll listen to something and then like that's enough, you know? But it's sometimes just like hard for me to listen to music. And I honestly wonder if it's just because like I literally in the womb, I'm pretty sure my mom was like screeching like 80s and 70s music, and now I'm just like, I can't, not one more song. But yeah, all music is just in my DNA. I started writing songs when I was pretty young. I didn't really realize there were songs yet. Like I would write poems, and because I am a classically trained pianist, I started piano when I was 3 in like early piano stuff, and I would write these poems that I thought were so good, and I even had a poem like published in a book when I was 9. So like poetry was just always kind of a thing for me in my brain. Is also a way of like uh, I would say coping with like a not so great home life. Even though I talk like super highly and love my mom and all the things, but my dad was like an alcoholic and he was abusive, and so I felt like poetry in a sense was kind of an escape, and I could just really like let my feelings out and let them do their thing on the paper, and then they don't have to like torture me anymore in my brain. So around 8 years old, my parents got me and my grandparents got me this piano, like a keyboard. It was a Yamaha keyboard, I guess, that would go in my room. So that way I didn't have to play like the giant upright piano that was in our living room anymore. So I would like go in my room by myself. I would like turn the volume down so that it could just be like me and the sound. And I would take the poems that I would write and then I would put them to like a tune on my piano. And I would like record the piano and then I would like record it, I guess, through the piano. And then I would like play it back and sing the poem to it, which I'm just like, man, I was like a music producer. I didn't even know it, you know? And so, yeah, that's kind of where it started. I was probably about 8 around that time. And then it just like progressively kind of grew with me as I grew. So, you know, it started out as like songs, poems about my dog and stuff like that. And then it was like, okay, poems about the boy I have a crush on, or the, songs about girls that are bullying me, or like, all this stuff. So, I feel like it's just part of who I am. I don't know how else to describe it. I've just always done music in some capacity. I've always been around it. And yeah, now I do, like, I'm trying to do music, I guess, for a living. I don't know. It's like a hobby, but also like it's something that brings life to me. And yeah,
It's
yeah,
kind of it's kind of ironic that you don't like listening to music much, but you work a lot with like you're doing music for a living. So I find that a little ironic. I'm
really.
sorry. I'm just
I
sorry.
know it's so, no, no, it's weird.
I'm,
It's just like,
I just don't hear that a lot from like musicians.
I know it's a weird thing. I am a neurodivergent. Um, like I'm diagnosed with ADHD, and I'm on the verge, I think, of getting a proper diagnosis for being autistic, which checks out, which checks a lot of boxes, but um, I just get really overstimulated, like really easily. And
Mhm.
when, if you could like look, if somebody just like looked in my brain and like if you could hear the things that happen in my brain, you'll understand why listening to music just doesn't work. Like I have music going through my head 24/7. And it's like whether it's my own music, whether it's like hearing sounds from things and putting it into
Mhm.
music in my head, I can hear pitch in certain things that normal people don't hear pitch in, and I see music like that's, I don't know, there's a thing I guess called, I think it's called like synesthesia or something like that, where I see music in like colors and stuff. And so it's just like, I don't know. It doesn't work to just listen to music for leisure. It like either like takes away from my concentration or it like drains me. So,
Mhm. And that's really cool though and unique. So I actually like that. It's just like different. I just don't hear that often. So sorry, I just started trying to think of a follow up to that. So
no, you're
um
good.
so we talking a little bit more about your music. It looks like you were nominated for I'm getting my facts right. I have a Word document up. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
GMA USA Songwriter of the Year in 2017 and 2022. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so in 2017, I went to Nashville and I did the Immerse conference. And part of the conference, like in conjunction with the actual workshops and stuff, was a review you competition where you would submit your songs, and then you would basically be judged by music industry professionals, which was both very invigorating and absolutely terrifying. And so I did that in 2016. I absolutely choked and didn't make it. Like I made it, but then I
Hmm.
think I got dropped off in like top 12 or something.
Hmm.
And then in 2017, I went again, and then I won Songwriter of the Year. There were multiple categories, and Songwriter was one of them, which was really cool. From there, it opened a lot of doors, but like the weird thing about it is that like being in Canada, it made it kind of complicated. Like,
Yeah.
nobody really wanted to sign a Canadian artist. Nobody was really interested in like the Canadian music scene. So it was like, okay, well, congratulations. Here's the hardware for your shelf. And all the best. So, it's cool. From there, I just kind of kept putting out music like slowly and surely and doing the things. And then in 2022, I think, oh, so many things. In 2022, I was nominated for like the GMA Covenant Awards in Canada, which is a little bit
Hmm.
different. They're not associated with each other. Um, and I was nominated for like three. And then in 2023, I was nominated for five. And I didn't win any of them, but I don't really care about that stuff. And then, but in 2023, I also won Saskatchewan Spiritual Artist of the Year. So with my province slash whatever, I think y'all call it a state.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I was like the Spiritual Artist of the Year with the Saskatchewan Music Association, and then um 2022. Sorry, now I'm going backwards.
You're good. You're good.
I won the Breakout West Spiritual Artist of the Year, which is like all of Western Canada, which is cool. So I don't know. I don't think like awards are that
Mhm.
big of a deal. It's cool to be like validated in your craft, but I'm just like, meh.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
Um, Diving into your music a little bit, I've listened to a few of your songs, and every song sounds so different and unique. Can you tell us a little bit how it is just to perform like a different style like each song? Because you have like jazzy vibe songs, then you have piano ballads and
Mhm.
etc.
Yeah, that is a pretty good representation of my brain. I cannot be boxed in. Like you can't make me stick to one genre if my life and your life both depended on it. Like I Yeah, I write songs not necessarily from the standpoint of like, okay, I'm gonna write a song that's gonna be like CCM and or whatever. Like I'm gonna put
Hmm.
it in this genre. My thing is like I have a message and I want to tell the story, and let's find basically some sonics that will accompany the style of the message. You know what I'm saying? So the album I have coming out is insane. There are so many different genres. Like as you listen, you're gonna be like, oh wow, what? Like it's almost like this overstimulation that you didn't know
Hmm.
that you needed, but it's just so cool because it's like I feel like it reaches a broader audience in that sense. Like, and all my songs just don't sound the same. And like I think that is a gift because some people get really like boxed in a style or a sound and then they just stay there forever, which is, I mean, cool. Like you got to be predictable, but to a certain degree, I think like having variety in your style is really important when it comes to like targeting a new audience and trying to get new listeners, which is the goal. You know, if you're wanting to do music like full time, you kind of want to like
Hmm.
broaden the reach. So yeah, this if you just listen to my catalog like right through, like you're just like, what in the world? Who is this, the same girl?
I kind of
Um,
did that like before meeting with you. Just no refresh
okay.
or something. So
Yeah, like the first single I ever put out was called Greater Works, and it still continues to do like super well in like the church circles, and it is such a church song. And I kind of wrote that song almost with this idea of like wanting to get into a market that I hadn't really reached. You know, it's like
mhm.
I knew that if I wrote a really churchy sounding song, then the churchy people will sing it, and that's kind of what I did, and it worked. Like people, that song is my second highest streamed song like every day. Like I don't understand, um, but in getting in there and just like giving people what they want in that sense, from there it felt like I was able to also reach people that maybe might not listen to like pop music or jazz flavory music. Like so I feel like in a sense like I have this really unique audience that okay, well I came here when Elenee released Greater Works, and like that was like her churchy song that she put out, and like she's just put so many different things out, and now I like love, you know, I love pop, I love her jazz stuff, I love her, yeah, I don't know, it's just I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, I just do what I can, and I have the most crazy talented team. My producer Chris Hardy is just like he's a beast. If I send him a song like a demo, like what he sends me back is just it's like he knows my brain and then he like makes it better than I could ever have imagined it, and like it's so weird and so cool. I have one coming out on this album that I released as like a sad pop like demo on my
Mhm.
Instagram. It went viral. People were all over it. They're like, "When are you putting this out?" Um, and so I was like, okay, I guess now it has to go on the album. And I sent it to him and I was like, okay, here we go. And he's just like, power ballad. I was like, a power ballad? Uh, okay. And then he sent like, you know, some kind of a reference to listen to. And I was just like, a power ballad. Like, you know, I would have never heard that. But yet he just read between the lines and then made it sound so cool. So, anyways, I'm just like totally on a rabbit trail. Cut me off.
No, no, you're good. You're good. You're good. Speaking of the new album, when I was researching more information, the site said spring of 2024. It's now spring of 2024. Do you have a release date?
August 30th. I have to update that.
No, you're good. I was just wondering because people are going to be like, when can we hear the album? So I was just wondering.
I have a single coming out on Friday, so that will be the third single from the album, and then I have another song in collaboration with another incredible artist from Nashville that'll be coming out in June, and then I'm gonna let people just like chill for a couple months, and then the album drops on August 30th. So yeah, it'll be a really busy summer.
And for those who are listening slash watching this, make sure to, I've been pronouncing it wrong, even though we said this like 800 times. Elenee.
Hey,
We said, but go check out her music. You can find it's just under Elenee on Spotify. There's also Elenee Young. You have like two profiles, it looks like
I
on
know. I want to
so,
delete the other one, but I don't know how. I
totally
tried.
funny.
Yeah,
Um,
but so I was originally like when I was putting out music originally it was Elenee Young, and then I just felt like that didn't match like the
mhm.
vibe I was going for, and I felt like my name was like culturally ambiguous enough that I could just have my first name as my artist name, and so I did that. But some of the music for some reason like didn't move over when I did that, and so I was just like, oh, this is a great opportunity to start fresh. But for some reason, it's like really hard to delete things off of all the music platforms. Like I don't know how to get rid of that. But anyways, it is what it is.
It happens.
Follow me.
We just have a few extra minutes. We like to give our guests a platform to speak about or bring up anything or anything they want to say. So the floor is yours.
Oh my gosh.
If you don't have
I
anything, let's go to it. It's just
okay,
like we
wait.
just like give people the floor.
Yeah, like rapid fire. Give me like a question or something. I can't just think of something right now.
Musical inspiration. I don't know.
Musical inspiration? Oh
Like
man.
artist wise. I don't know. He said
Shoot.
that was just a
I
rapid
grew
fire.
up I grew up listening to, like I said, 70s and 80s music. I love Queen. I
Mhm.
love the Bee Gees. I love ABBA. Those are like my top three. Like when I think of, oh man, I just want to like chill and put something on in the background, it's like one of those three. Um, also grew up like listening to some like Y2K, like R&B and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So like if I had to like put my current artistic inspiration into maybe an era, as they're all saying, or something, I would say like neo soul, like 90s neo soul, R&B. Like I love rap music. Don't at me. Some of the like artists right now, like in the Christian circles that are putting out music, oh my gosh, like my I have this dream to work or collaborate with No Big Deal. I don't care what anyone says, like he is so good. I love his brain.
I
So
mean, he was
anyways, that's cool.
yeah. I haven't listened to much of his music, but enjoy his music as well.
You have to, like, honestly. And as a listener slash watcher, literally stop what you're doing right now, pause this podcast, and go listen to his music. No big deal. Oh my gosh, he's so good. So, anyways, and he just like he talks and sings and raps about all like the good and real things in life, and he's just so honest, and I love that. So, anyways,
You
yay,
can listen to
that's
him, but
fun.
make sure to listen to Elenee
Oh
instead.
yeah, listen to me too.
Yeah, that was more important.
Yeah.
um, Again, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate your time for joining us. Or
Thanks
I
so
should
much for having
say
me.
next
This was
time.
great.
Yeah. And to everyone who's listening, we'll see you next time on the Christian Music Bros podcast. Once again, this is Brendan. Have a great week, everyone.